Here, Larry, are we streaming? All right, well, today we're going to be offering a preview to folks on the City of Winston-Salem's recently passed Recovery Grants Program. The City Council approved a $3 million appropriation for the recovery grants. $1 million will be for small businesses, $1 million for social services nonprofits, and $1 million for travel, tourism, hospitality, and the arts nonprofits. So I'm going to pull up some slides here so we can give a preview of what we're looking at. And I am Tiffany Oliva. I am the city's American Rescue Plan Act coordinator. Okay, so I'd like to cover a little bit about what has been approved by the City Council so far on our coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds. In total, we received an allocation of we've been allocated 51.7 million by the U.S. Department of the Treasury in these funds. And we've received about 25.8 of those funds so far in the first tranche, and we'll receive the rest of the other half of those funds in the new year. So far, what's been appropriated, we've covered some of this in our last community engagement meeting, but we appropriated 1.35 million to the crime prevention plan, 100,000 to the rights to counsel eviction diversion, 1.5 to city essential worker premium pay, and then you'll see the breakdown of the 3 million total for recovery grants, as well as an amount up to $50,950 for administration of the recovery grants program, which we're working on entering into a contract with the United Way of Forsyth County. And then also an appropriation there for 2 positions to work on the American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this covers through the end of 2026. So from now until 2026. So you'll see that we still have about $44.7 million that have not been appropriated at this point. Okay, so the recovery grants program fits into this first category of the federal objectives of the coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds, and that's to respond to the public health emergency or its negative economic impact. So it's really getting at the latter portion of that first federal objective. As I mentioned, the Recovery Grants Program for small business is for small businesses and nonprofits, and there's 2 kinds of nonprofits that we're looking at. One is social service nonprofits, and the other is for travel, tourism, hospitality, and the arts. And this program is really meant to assist those small businesses and nonprofits that were significantly hit by the pandemic and are in arrears on mortgage, rent, lease, or utility payments. So again, you see the breakdown here of the total appropriation of $3 million. And you'll also note that the maximum award that a small business or nonprofit could receive through these grants is $25,000. Now we'll look a little bit at the proposed minimum criteria, well, the approved minimum criteria at this point for this program. So for small businesses, those eligible are those that are independently owned. Chains are not eligible to apply for the program. And it will be those small businesses that have no more than 25 FTEs, full-time eligible employees. On the nonprofit side, you'll see that only those nonprofits that have an organizational budget of $1 million, not including pass-through assistance from other entities, are eligible to apply. And it's important that those nonprofits do have board approval before they submit their application. We'll also be asking nonprofits to show documentation showing that they're servicing in or servicing to low income to moderate income areas, which can be defined as qualified census tracts, and we'll go into that in another slide. And then for all of these entity types, it's required that they be located within our city corporate limits and have been fully functioning before January 1st, 2020, so prior to the start of the pandemic. And then, of course, as the program is scoped, this program is for businesses and nonprofits that are behind on mortgage, rent, lease, and utility payments. To look at our approach for selecting those small businesses and nonprofits, basically, if you're a small business or nonprofit and you meet that minimum eligibility criteria, we'll be pulling applications in 2 rounds. I'm sorry, I just got a notification on my Zoom. Okay. The businesses and nonprofits will be entered, if you meet the minimum eligibility criteria, you'll be entered into one of 2 rounds. So in the first round, we'll be pulling nonprofits and small businesses that are located within, and then nonprofits located within or serving within qualified census tracts. And you may be wondering, what is a qualified census tract? Again, we're going to dig a little deeper into that. But it is a designation by the Federal Department of Housing that shows a geographic area that's low income within the city. And so in round 1, what we'll be doing is pulling or doing a lottery if there are more than 25 applications in each category to select those small businesses and nonprofits that will be receiving those grant funds. And then in round 2, if you're a small business or nonprofit that wasn't selected in round 1 or were not eligible for round 1, being that you're not in a QCT, but you are in a census tract that has a similar demographic to a QCT as far as income goes, you'll be entered into round 2. And so that's where we'll expend the rest of the funds that are available. After all eligible applications are made, any remaining funds may be deobligated from this program and move into the transformational phase of our coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds. So as I've mentioned, the qualified census tract, this is a map of qualified census tracts using 2021 information in our city. And those are all the areas here outlined and colored in orange. And then this map shows our qualified census tracts, which are outlined here in yellow. But we have also expanded some eligibility for small businesses and nonprofits that are not within a qualified census tract, but have or in census tracts with median household income below 50,000. So you'll see that there's some areas in the north and northeast ward that have expanded eligibility. And again, this is based on 2021 data at this point. That's how we scoped the program. At another community engagement meeting, we hope to go over a tool where you'll be able to see if you're in a qualified census tract or serving residents that live within a qualified census tract. So our next steps, we're going to be continuing to hold these monthly virtual community meetings. The last meeting in October was held in the evening. We're obviously holding this meeting here at noon. In December, we plan to host this community meeting on December 15th at 3 p.m. So we're trying to get at different time periods to make sure that we're offering different opportunities for our residents to join. We'll also be recording this information in Spanish and posting it to the city's YouTube page. And making that available on the city's website related to coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds. Tomorrow on November 19th, we'll be providing a premium payment to city eligible essential workers, which was also an outlined appropriation by the city council. And then we hope to open these recovery grants programs, likely in early January. We'll have the United Way open them. And then in spring 2022, we'll be back with the City Council to begin the transformational obligations and expenditures related to these funds and possibly open up some sort of open application or request for proposals process. So here's that website that you can get information on related to the coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds. That's cityofws.org/CLFRF. Again, that's cityofws.org/CLFRF. And we do have a form on that website where you can submit any comments or questions, and those will go directly to me. Again, I'm Tiffany Oliva. I'm the American Rescue Plan Act Coordinator with the City of Winston-Salem. Thank you.